Hello and welcome to Insights. This is Hari Kumar. A few years ago, China warned that just because the name is Indian Ocean, India shouldn't think that it is their backyard. The words of China was part of their wolf warrior diplomacy policy, whereby they would aggressively push their agenda with whoever they were engaging with. It was also a main feature of the salami slicing policy which is being practiced by China. It means that they would create spheres of influence by striking alliance with certain countries and would slowly expand the sphere of influence to a larger area and take control over the area. China had successfully practiced that in East China Sea or South China Sea, and their striking alliances with Sri Lanka and their latest effort to gain influence in Maldives are all part of this salami slicing policy. However, India also has got a very solid policy in place at present to counter the Chinese strategies. While China is trying to encircle India and create their spheres of influence, India has also countered it. India's strategy is three-pronged. There is a policy or an outlook named Sagar of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, which aims to provide or create trust and provide equal opportunities and grow together. This is being implemented with all the countries on the rim of Indian Ocean. And the most important and the most tangible strategy is taking the leadership in countering piracy threat in Indian Ocean. And India has become the first responder in Indian Ocean to calls of distress from ships from different countries, including Pakistan. Now, let us check them one by one. Now, as a part of countering the salami slicing policy or creating spheres of influences, India has also entered into strategic alliances with several countries, and India has a presence in many countries now. For example, China operates the Hambantota port in Sri Lanka. At the same time, India's Adani Group operates the western terminal of Colombo port at present. China has major stakes in the development of Gwadar port in Pakistan. And meanwhile, India is, and again Adani Group is developing the Chabahar port in Iran, which is not far away from Gwadar. The Adani Group has got Adani ports, have got ports operating rights for ports in Israel as well as Greece. And now the presence of India is there in many countries. So India has definitely been able to successfully defend and strike new alliances and find new bases. Of late, India has faced a problem in Maldives, that is true. But at the same time, recently India has entered into an agreement with Mauritius to develop a jetty and an airstrip there. So that way India has countered China's aggression. Now, when coming to infrastructure development, India has developed the archipelagos of Lakshadweep and Andaman and Nicobar very aggressively. Of course, Andaman and Nicobar is the bigger archipelago and it has now got a tri-services command. Indian Navy, Army and the Air Force have got major presence in Andaman and Nicobar Islands now. And the Navy has more than 2 bases in Andaman and Nicobar. Similarly, India is fast developing the Lakshadweep archipelago. Initially, the efforts of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to develop Lakshadweep faced some resistance from there. The radical Islamist groups, the leftists, especially the government of Kerala, and the left groups operating in the state, and other groups, fundamentalist groups here, have raised the banner of revolt when the Union government tried to develop the infrastructure of the islands. However, Mr. Narendra Modi dealt it with an iron hand, and that too without shedding even a drop of blood. The new administrator of the island, Mr. Prabhul Khoda Patel, who is known as a man of perseverance and diligence, has been able to implement development programs. And a few days ago, Indian Navy opened their new base in Minicoy Island, which is now known as INS Jadayu. So this is very close to Maldives. And in case of any threat to India, it is expected that INS Jadayu is going to be the first responder. Also, India is going to expand the airstrips both in Minicoy as well as in another part of islands. So, India is fast moving ahead with development of Lakshadweep also. Meanwhile, India has inaugurated an MH-60 helicopter squadron in Cochin, which will play a major role in fighting the submarine threat from China. And meanwhile, India is conducting many major naval exercises in the Arabian Sea with the help of or in consonance with other friendly nations. So these exercises together with friendly nations have sent a very clear message to those forces who want to dominate Indian Ocean. And coming to the third aspect, India has now taken leadership of anti-piracy operations in East Indian Ocean. The Western powers, especially the United States and UK, have a major presence in Red Sea, but Indian naval ships are now they frequent Gulf of Aden, the eastern Somalia coast, and the Hormuz part. So, some of the reports said that India has pressed into operation around 12 warships of Indian Navy in the region. Besides that, India has also got helicopters as well as aircrafts. Some of the warships include stealth destroyers which have got helicopters also on them. The result has been very encouraging for India. On the western coast, India has been able to successfully curb the operations of drug mafia. It would be surprising to know that in the second half of 2023, as well as the first quarter of this year, the drugs seized by Indian Navy is reported to be over 10 billion US dollars, which is a staggering amount. And this also proves that India has been able to successfully prevent or thwart the efforts of drug mafia who are hand in glove with terrorist groups to create spheres of influence in the Arabian Sea and along the west coast of India. So all these proves that India has been able to successfully defend against the aggressive policies of China and to show China that who is the master of Indian Ocean. Eventually, India has now stood up to the threat of China and proved that India is really the master of Indian Ocean. That is for now. Meet you with another issue next time. Till then, goodbye.